Have you ever asked the universe for clarity, but all you got was confusion? Or you pray for healing and just things get messier? Or maybe you open yourself up for a breakthrough, but nothing shifts. And it's easy in those times to really start to wonder, is anyone listening? But here's the reframe. What if what's happening right now isn't a delay? What if it's the delivery? We think that answered prayers should come like trumpets and clarity, but sometimes the answer just looks like a closed door or it looks like a detour. And the problem is that we are looking for our version of the miracle. We think we know what it should look like, but so often, I think probably all the time, the universe has better plans for us than we could possibly imagine. And I know that that has been true for me. One of the times that I most think about when I think about how the universe has really great plans that I could never have imagined was back in the late 80s. I was wanting to become a corporate speaker. I actually wanted to become a professional speaker, but my pathway was to first become a corporate speaker. I wanted to work for Fortune 500 companies so that I could get really good experience and then I could start doing more just inspirational speaking. So I started looking for jobs as a trainer for Fortune 500 companies. And I had just quit my job. I was vice president of marketing for an Austrian crystal giftware company, and I was going to get this job as a corporate trainer. Well, I looked for a month, didn't find anything. Looked for another month, didn't find anything. And finally, after 3 months, I really needed to get a job to pay the rent and to support myself. And one day, one offer came my way, and it was to teach business writing. Now, there was one problem with this. I hated writing. I hated it. I thought I was really bad at it. But a wonderful woman from the company came to me and said, Marci, you don't understand writing if you hate it like that. And she said, I want you to take our 5-day training writing course. And if at the end of it you feel differently about writing, then maybe you'll reconsider. And I said, okay, fine. So I went and I took this course. And at the end of the 5 days, I said, oh my God, I can do this. This is nothing like what I learned in high school or in college. Writing is really just expressing how you feel, and I can totally do that. So I ended up accepting the job, and I ended up teaching business writing in Fortune 500 companies for 7 years. Now, was that my dream job? No. Did I want to spend the rest of my life teaching people about where to put their commas or semicolons? No. I was still laser focused on moving towards my dream. But there were actually huge reasons that I was at that job that were beyond what I could see at the time. Being at that job teaching business writing gave me the skills to really be able to write and edit. And I had no idea when I was teaching those courses that I would ever write a book. That wasn't even on my radar. And years later, I had the idea for Chicken Soup for the Woman's Soul. And by that time, I had all the experience that I needed to fulfill that vision that I had of writing a book that's now gone on to writing 9 books. So sometimes the universe has greater plans than we can possibly see. And it may not look like what we're thinking. So I want to tell you a little bit more about this, but if you're enjoying this video, make sure to click subscribe and turn on all the notifications because I put out new videos just like this every week that it will really help you live a more miraculous life, and I don't want you to miss them. Here's the deal. The answer doesn't always look like the end result. So we often become blind to the miracles that are happening to us right now because they don't look like the finish line. They don't look like that big dream that we were dreaming of, or like that healing that we were expecting, or that clarity we were looking for. Instead, sometimes they look like disappointments. Oh, do I have to do that job? Or they look like breakdowns, or they look like wrong turns. But those wrong turns might just be guiding you to exactly where you need to go. So here's what I believe. I believe it's absolutely critical to trust the process, even when you don't understand it. We live in a benevolent universe, and there are divine forces at work in every situation. And when you embrace this perspective, you can really trust that behind the scenes, you're being taken care of. I like to say that we're not the general manager of the universe. We don't know the best ways that things are going to work out for us. So anytime I set an intention or do a prayer, I always like to say, this or something better, because that allows the universe to fill in the blanks. This or something even better. And trust that your intentions and your prayers are heard. The universe responds. The universe isn't ignoring you. It is aligning circumstances and possibilities around you. So even if you don't understand why things are unfolding in a certain way, look for what you can be grateful for. It can be that a spiritual practice shows up to help you really center yourself in a time when you need some centering. Or it could be that a friend shows up with some great advice. So you show up with your open heart and your gratitude right now in the greatest way, and that will propel you towards the miracles that you're calling in. And when you don't see the full picture, trust that there is a magnificent painter that is there. So today, whatever's not working, whatever if it feels wrong or backwards or broken, ask yourself these 3 questions. What if this is the answer? Question number 2, what if this is the redirection that I prayed for? And question number 3, what if this is the miracle in disguise? You don't need to figure it all out today. You can never figure it out from here. You just need to keep your heart open and allow the answers to reveal themselves. And in the process, trust. So let me know in the comments if you're choosing to trust in that divine perfection at work, or how you're choosing to trust in that divine perfection at work, even if it doesn't look this way right now, because the universe never forgets your prayer. It just might answer it in a way that totally surprises you.